meeting is now in order. And I just
Mr. here. Mr. Burmeister here. Mr. Gaffney here. Would you roll past that? Martina?
here.
Yes.
Here.
Warren?
Here.
On Tuesday, June 16, 2026, at 6 p.m., the Cook County School District 130 Board of Education will hold the regular board meeting at the Eisenhower Co-op. May you please stand for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We're now opening the floor for public comment. If you'd like to address the board, please fill out the designated sign-in sheet at the check-in table. Additionally, please be aware that comments made during this time are not protected from potential legal liability. As a reminder, the board will not respond or engage in dialogue with individuals choosing to make a public comment. The board reserves the right to limit the length of public comments and has exercised that right for this meeting. Individual comments are limited to 3 minutes with a total of no more than 30 minutes allotted for public comment. We also ask that all comments be made respectfully and in a manner that does not disrupt the meeting. With that said, we invite our first speaker to address the board, Doug Taylor. Thank you.
I'm assuming we're still back here.
Yes.
No. Hi, good evening, board and community. Thank you for this opportunity to speak. I'm with SCI, Doug Taylor, with SCIU 73. I work here with Ricky Baldwin, who's also here tonight, and several of our members are here. I wanted to talk tonight about the problems we're seeing with contracting out. It's not working too well for our folks and for your schools. What we see, I have the contract right here, and it lists a lot of things that are supposed to be happening that aren't. So there's a lot of duplication from what our members are supposed to be working on, and we're just not seeing it happen in the schools. People come in after the company's been there, and there just really isn't a clear indication that anyone has been there other than the lights are on, the materials are moved, machines are left dirty, mops, buckets left dirty from the cleaning company, but they're really not sure what they've done overnight on those Thursdays and Fridays when they're supposed to be working. And I think that's a real concern for how we're spending money for this service if we don't see the effect, the results, right? Because our members are still, reading down the list, their expectations are the same, that they're still doing these things before they leave on Friday. So the company comes in, it's the same on Monday morning, other than lights are on, machines are left dirty mop buckets, materials that they have stashed on their carts get moved to different places. They have to go looking for the first 20 minutes to half an hour, finding the things that they knew they had left Friday for their work on Monday. And so there's just some things, it's just not working for you, for the community. They're just not doing a good job of the work. We've had some, let's see, supplies, okay, got that. So we have some images, of course, of things, and we're going to pass this out to the board members here, of some things that have happened over the course of the time here. We've got, people using the wrong materials in the wrong place. Some of our folks were reassigned last Thursday for Friday's work because we had power outages after the storms. And just talking with them, they're like, look, no one has been double cleaning these buildings. It's just not, the proof isn't there. So again, just expressing our frustration that the contracting more out is not working. And that's $150-something thousand that you're spending for this service. You can decide whether, we obviously feel it's not money that's well spent. Thank you.
Next we have Ricky Baldwin. Sorry, Ricky.
That's all right, my handwriting, you're trying to read. Thank you. Good evening. Ricky Baldwin, Chief Negotiator for the SEIU contract that at the end of this month will be expired for a year. Previously, I talked to you about a set of concerns brought to us by our members, the school custodians, about things that interfere with their ability to get their work done to the standard that they expect. Things like understaffing, difficulty getting a replacement for a coworker who's absent, difficulty getting equipment fixed or replaced, things like that. Tonight, unfortunately, we have a new set of concerns to bring to you because management largely ignored or denied our concerns before, many of them, and instead blamed the workers. They said that the buildings were dirty because they weren't doing their work, although no evidence was ever presented. We brought pictures to you of the clean buildings after we went and toured all of the buildings. And then someone convinced the board to contract out the late shift, the third shift. And since then, our members, the custodians, come to work in the morning. The lights are left on from the night before. Sometimes the building's unlocked overnight. When they arrive, they find that. They see trash on the floor. There's a couple of pictures there. Equipment not put away, or sometimes left plugged in, stuff that's supposed to be unplugged at night. And then one big section of the floor that's in the picture there was marred by one of the contractors who, I guess either through lack of training or inexperience, put a scrubber pad on, used a scrubber instead of the buffer. So it just made a huge mar through the floor before they stopped, but they just left it like that. So we're here to bring these things to your attention and to ask you to reconsider this decision before wasting any more taxpayers' money on this shoddy work. Thank you.
Mr. Baldwin, I have a question.
Yes.
You said you toured all the buildings, every single one of them?
We did.
You did. Do you recall the date of that?
It wasn't on one day, it was over a period of weeks.
Since we've had this company or before?
No, we did that before the company started, Doug and I. We just, whenever we could squeeze it into our schedule, we went to meet with a custodian here or there on the breaks, or, we went through the buildings. We collected pictures, which were on the previous flyer. I don't know if we have any more of those with us, but we can get you that if you're interested. It has a whole gallery of pictures from various buildings.
Okay, thanks.
Sure, of course. Anything else? Okay, thank you.
We'll move on to board member comments. At this time, do any members of the board have any comments?
Oh, yeah. So I attended Kura's graduation, and I want to commend the admin team and the teachers and the students for a beautiful ceremony.
All right, we will move on to presentations. We have a technology presentation. So Kim Hauser. Sorry, Kim.
There's got to be a couple places at once. Hello, everybody. provide an overview of the technology department and some of the planning activities, and just give you a little quick background about what goes into running technology here at the school district. I'm going to start by saying that I spent 20 years prior to this on the instructional side of technology. We did things like virtual reality, augmented reality, programming Arduino boards, and integrating sensors and things like that. We had such fun. Tonight, there's no fun. It's all cybersecurity, compliance, and infrastructure. So there's a big difference between the instructional side, and we have an instructional team that does a phenomenal job, and the actual IT infrastructure, policy, protocol side of things. So I'm going to just go over this a little bit and tell you a little bit about our tech planning, where we're headed, and if there's questions, happy to answer them. Some of our strategic priorities are life cycle management and infrastructure. So it's basically devices, when do we replace them, how often do we replace them, who gets what devices, etc. Cybersecurity and risk management, huge in the last 5 to 8 years. There has been such an increase in a need for cybersecurity. You even see Evanston Township has still been closed, still has a network down as a result of the cyber attack that happened on June 7th. So there's a lot to worry about, and there's a lot to really keep and maintain, and there's a lot to really help instruct staff too for how to make sure that you're not actually, bringing in ransomware, etc. Then the other strategic priority is equitable access to modern learning technologies and operational effectiveness and service delivery. So while I don't get to do the fun instructional side, what we do is important because in the background, it's what enables all of those things to happen in the classroom. So we have, for our life cycle, we have basically devices and network hardware, infrastructure modernization, servers and storage, and communications and safety systems. And the board does have access to this file, but I'm just here to give everybody a brief overview. This is basically the device and network hardware cycle. Students in grades 1 and 5 get a new device. They use that for 4 years, and we don't collect a technology fee, so what we do is we collect the devices back and we add them to the pool so that we can make repairs and have motors, etc. We have our office desktops that are refreshed on a 6-year cycle. When I first came in, they were older than that, so it's kind of a rush for some of those. But all of that information is on this file, and you can see exactly when the items were purchased and where they fall in the cycle, and when we're going to need to replace them. The one thing I did want to show you is for E-rate. I feel like E-rate is a huge part of my job, and it is using the most effectively using federal funds to maintain our network. And what I just wanted to show very quickly was the fact that, right here, we have a very detailed list of every switch, every cluster of access points, every server, etc., and it's maintained, and we watch to make sure that it doesn't come to end of life. And we use E-rate funds strategically to make sure that as things come to end of life, that we are there with the E-rate funds to be able to replenish that. So you can see in this very detailed every piece of network equipment, when it was replaced and when it's going to be replaced. So we're very detail oriented here, and we want to make sure that we're transparent in what we do with our federal funding, and to know that we're sitting on top of this, that we're really trying to make sure that we have everything stabilized so that we can have everything functioning as expected. Unless there's a power outage. That's the one, that's the one drawback. But so E-rate has been incredibly helpful in keeping our network up to date, making sure that we have the newest access points in place and that we have expanded bandwidth for our students. Some of the other big projects that we took on, they came here in 2023, and when we brought E2 in 2024, we had 42 servers. Maintaining 42 servers was huge. I mean, that's patching, that's updating, that's monitoring the systems on each of the servers. So one of our big goals has been to reduce servers. So we've been working steadily with this goal to reduce servers. We're down to 19 servers. We have 4 physical, 15 virtual. And I just wanted to list, because there were some questions before about some of the servers that we do have on site. We definitely need servers for network authentication and to keep our Wi-Fi going, but we also have a print server. We also have a paper cut server that facilitates all of our copy machines. We have Gallagher, which is the access control that's over on the side of the building. We have file servers, we have servers that run backups. So there's going to be a need for servers. We still have to keep them on site, but we have made a huge effort to actually get rid of those, and we're down to 19. We'll probably have 3 or 4 more gone by the end of the summer, and I think that's probably going to be our limit. But we're really happy with that because we tried to move our Power School instance has been moved to the cloud. We've tried to migrate things to cloud services, et cetera, and we're making great progress there. See what I said? No fun stuff. But just to give you some information, basically we have safety system deployments that we've done in recent years. Like I said, this is my 3rd year here, and we've been incredibly busy working with communications, instructional team, and safety in the buildings and grounds. We have the Alerus and Raptor emergency platforms that have been deployed, our district cell phone deployment, Parent Square communication platform, which is communication and instructional digital learning team has managed, intercom and public address systems, those are all been replaced across the district, and voice over IP system in 2024, our phone system in 2023 when I came, the phone system was in very bad shape. We only had 1 working phone in each of the buildings, but we were able to replace all of that and go to voice over IP, and that's been working out well. We've also, in 2023, implemented narcotic cameras and access control. So those were just some of the newer projects that we have, that we've been implementing. The other thing, this is the stuff that keeps me awake at night. This is security best practice assessments. Basically, this is all of our cybersecurity efforts. And again, in the last few years, especially since COVID, the requirements from our insurance company has increased drastically because the risks have increased dramatically. We have schools are soft targets. They are targets for hackers because they know usually you don't have security experts on teams. And there's a lot of vulnerabilities in schools. So they know that schools have insurance, so they tend to be targeted more than other institutions. So the insurance companies have actually really put in extra things, extra requirements in place. And I just want to show an example that this is what the insurance company used to assess us. And it's 4 pages of all of these protocols that we must follow. And there's really intense things. There's little things like, for instance, we have disabled dormant accounts. We've purchased tools that do that automatically. We've tried to build things that build processes that really help us to effectively manage these things. Requiring MFA for remote and administrative access, we've done that. We've really tried to tackle this and really get to meet these requirements that are put forth by our insurance company, and we're hoping to get our insurance rates down a little bit because it's one of our largest costs too as well. So I just wanted to show you that, and there's links there as well. But these are some of the security implementations, and people get mad because it's painful. You get on your computers, it's painful to get an email because you have to MFA, and we moved to Google MFA. And that was pretty messy. If anybody remembers all the calls, I can't get in because we had to set up the MFA. We didn't do it the first 2 times. So it's been a challenge, but it's been very necessary. And we keep moving forward. But these are just some of the things that will not read things to you, but know that we have been putting things in place since I came here 3 years ago to really help increase the security and efficiency and make sure that we keep all of our student data safe, system safe, et cetera. We also did do the cyber security pilot where we received funding from the FCC, and we did implement the email filter. And we also have Clever MFA that's being fully deployed this summer. And we also have the WISER training. And we recently joined Secure Halo for dark web monitoring. I got logged in the portal to see the dark web monitoring. It was you have 9,000 compromises. So I was like, oh, great. So again, all of these things are things that we have to work on. I worked with the company and I said, what is this? They said, those are going back like years and years, and it might just be the email was found on the site. So again, we're getting more information and more tools in place. We are trying incredibly hard to protect the systems, protect student data, and protect all of the systems that we have here in order to work in the district. Technology subscription services. So think about this. If we think about trying to manage student information, trying to manage access control, trying to facilitate the learning tools, etc. There's a lot, and I just wanted to take a moment to show this for 1 second, just because I think that it's important to see. For our technology subscription services, this is available to the board. It is all of our subscriptions that we need in order for our devices to work, in order to manage our devices, etc. So these are all here with the prices, with the overall service that it provides, and some details explaining. So if there's ever any questions about why do we pay for this, why do we buy this, it's in the chart, but I'm also happy to answer any questions as well. And we've been working very diligently to remove unnecessary things. So it's not like we just keep going, we just don't know what we're paying for. We go and we thoroughly vet the tools, and we make sure that they're working for what we need, and we've eliminated a lot of things along the way as well. All right. Technology staffing overview. When I first came in 2023 summer, it was the secretary and I over the summer, just her. We had 1 district technician, and we had 2 school technicians, and we were incredibly short-handed. And I just have to say that I'm incredibly lucky, because over these years we built a phenomenal team. I'm incredibly lucky to have this great team. Everybody brings something different to the table. They're incredibly productive. They care about the community. They care about the schools. They want to make sure that they're taken care of. And I learn something new from them every day as well. So I just want to express my gratitude for them at this moment. But any board member can take a look at the staffing overview, just to see who does what and why each of their roles are needed. But on the next slide, I will show just a little bit of what we do. These are some of the systems that we manage. And what I think is important is to understand that there's so many systems that it takes to run a school district. So when I look at this table right here, I want to point out that this does not include any HR systems. This does not include any instructional tools. You see if your students log into Clever, you see there's probably 15, 20 tools that the instructional side manages. That's an incredibly important job to make sure that everything is scoped properly. But these are the systems that the technology department manages. So keep in mind that it's minus instructional tools, which is many, and minus HR, like iVision, Spotlight, etc. So there's all these systems, and what I try to do is say, okay, who oversees the system? What are the tasks? What are my tasks as the tech director? And then what does my operational manager do? And then what are the technician roles? So this was just a way I was just trying to show all the systems that we manage, who does what, and why it's necessary to have the team that takes care of this. There's the intercom system, there's the entry doorbells, cameras, the email filter, the email archive management, securely, my view board council. There's many, many tools here that we have to manage, but it's important for us to keep things going. These are all necessary. We have our help desk for parents, where we basically just provide support when needed, but digital learning takes care of that. But this is just to give you an insight into so many systems on the IT side that we use and that we manage, that we learn new things about again every day. And the other thing to keep in mind, this especially with my job, is all of the policy and compliance. Protecting student data, and I work closely with Jessica Greenberg with this, making sure that we do every effort to keep our student data safe. It's interesting, I have people that get very frustrated because things are blocked, and if things are blocked because it collects data. And if we don't have a SOPA contract, we have no guarantee that our student data is safe. So it causes frustration for some people, and they know that just in the curriculum department we're working to make sure what's allowable, what's not allowable. But that's a huge part of our work, is making sure that we keep our student data safe. And if a student goes and logs into a site or just clicks login with Google, it's not out there many times it collects their data. So we trying to prevent that. So that's one of our big focuses, is just trying to keep data safe. We also have to work with our acceptable use policy and make updates to that each year and make sure that it's compliant and make sure that it's set up in a way that's offering the most, that we have solid consequences if students are doing something that they're not supposed to, but also that we know that what are the expectations from our students using our technology. So as on the FERPA, we also have E-rate regulations. When we do all of this grant writing and funding, there's a lot of guidelines, a lot of regulations that are in place that we must follow. And then also, there's also ADA compliance that we need to make sure that all of our tools are appropriately accommodating people. And those are just a few, there's many more, but I just wanted to see that in the background, we still have all this policy, all these compliance things that we need to worry about when we purchase something, when we deploy something, when we're looking at different tools. So basically, I had just put in an implementation timeline for the next 5 years where, looking at the strategic areas where we want to do each year, how we're going to build and how continually roll out these safety measures and to make sure that we're supporting our infrastructure so that we can expand, whether we're getting more access controls or cameras or more classroom tools. We want to make sure that we are able to support those things along the way. So that was the super short part, but the board has access to this file, and I'm always happy to come and answer any questions or show any research that's been done to secure these tools, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Just want to say, very nice presentation. Looks like you're on top of things and keep moving us forward. Thank you.
I have a quick question. I know high school is different, but if a kid searches something up that's extremely, for safety purposes, it gets sent to their dean immediately and they get called down within 10 minutes. Do we have anything like that? And who does it get sent to?
Yes, so we have securely, and what they do is they scan, if something happens, the counselor, principal, assistant principal get an alert. And usually it's the counselor that will see, that will reach out to the kid and send an email, like contact the student, contact the parent, and they'll follow up. So there is a tool in place, and they do get alerts if something is searched. Good question. Thank you. Not that we don't find ways to bypass it, but we try.
How many people are on your team now?
I have 6 technicians and 1 operations manager, and then we have E2 is the contractor that helps, that does all the networking, that does all the patches, that does all the server backup, that does all the security, monitors the system 24/7. So 6 technicians, 1 operations manager, and myself.
Better than the 4 we when you started.
Yes, yes, much better, much better. It's free.
Got us out of the Stone Age into the New Age.
Are there any other questions? Thank you, Kim.
Thank you for your time.
At this time, we'll move to consent agenda. Are there any items that board members would like to remove from the consent agenda for a separate discussion?
I want to remove, I just have a couple of quick questions. Letter E, for the employment, what do the red asterisks mean? So they're kind of in there. Thank you. And then, maybe this was discussed at last meeting, I apologize, but KLM, so we're talking about those psychologists. So I guess my question is, so are we contracting out 3 more?
Well, that, Dr. Drew will address that because it is specific lots of testing and.
The psychologists, I guess.
So these are, we have brought on the school psychologists for this year. These are all independent contractors that we used last year. We have tried to hire, direct hire psychologists over the last several years. It's still just not happening, because only detail at this time. Each of these contracts is per evaluation. So they do want to, we contact them, they agree to engage with one, and then we use those to do our child lines.
So those 3 women are not all contracted, it's just whoever one of those 3 would be doing? I'm just confused. Are we getting 3 contracted, or are those our options? Like when we want an evaluation done?
We are engaging in a contract contract with those 3 contractors, but we use them for testing. If he gets a evaluation, then I guess that's how.
Correct.
And
So
so,
we received a referral, and then you said KLM, can you, and the 3 of them, you will reach out, because they also contract with other districts. So there is a fee for evaluation for that.
okay, so we're not spending $150,000 on each of those, it's just as needed.
That's
Got it.
$154,272 in aggregate for all psychological services for the last year.
Okay, makes sense, thank you. That's it.
Anyone else have questions? May I have a motion to approve consent agenda items as presented? For this meeting, the items are 4A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, and Y.
I'll make a motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. McGinnis?
Yes.
Mr. Geithner?
Yes.
Mr. Warren?
Yep.
Mr. Drainey?
Yes.
Mr. Master, yes? Mr. McGinnis?
Yes.
Motion approved.
Thank you. Next, we'll move on to action items. 5A is to amend the Board of Education meeting schedule. This would allow for the board meetings to be held here at the Eisenhower Co-op. So the amended location for the schools to the Eisenhower Co-op, this would affect the September 15th meeting, November 10th, January 19th, 2027, March 16th, 2027, and May 18th, 2027.
What's the rationale for this?
To allow all meetings to be held in one central location, so I think a great example, and allow our technology to just be consistent. I think a great example was our meeting at Lincoln, where we had to get up and walk around and hand our microphone to everyone. The idea is to, if needed, we can always move, like we just did. I'm gonna fumble this up. Like our award recognition, we might need larger space in here, but it allows us time to be able to figure that out. But by having them here, it's just one central location, and it's consistent.
I'd rather continue to go to the other schools, and it's important for the community to meetings closer to the houses.
I don't
If the
think,
board members go to the house.
I think it's a waste of time and a waste of resources, and I think it's a great idea to have it housed here. You spend a lot of money moving all these pieces around to make it functional at those facilities. Again, they don't have the technology of this facility here. This is ADA compatible here with the other facilities aren't all ADA. And if you look at the turnout that we had from the previous meetings, it's slim and none.
It's not necessarily true.
Yeah, it is. Take a look, start counting the heads.
Will they, can we then, if they're all gonna be here, can they all be recorded now? Since, so that's helpful too.
So our meetings have been, recorded, for the last several, given by the speaker, at least last year. But I think one of the other things too is when we do go to the school, we consider this right last month, is it does disrupt the school day when we're moving, they have a meeting. So students are getting moved, set up, and actually this was not raised by me, but that was one of the things that came up when we were doing these buildings, is we got the students and classes to prepare for attendance at the meeting and the admin disruptive to the school setting.
I do think, for safety factors too, Mr. Barr has anything to add to that, it's better to just keep in a centralized location. We know this building.
I'm gonna disagree with that. It's safe enough for our kids, it's safe enough for us, but all the other points I do.
Is there any other discussion? May I have a motion to approve the amended Board of Education meeting schedule?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
We have a roll call, please.
Ms. Martinez?
Yes.
Ms. McGinnis?
Yes.
Mr. Burmeister? No. Mr. Zane?
Yes.
Mr. Getzner?
Yes.
Mr. Warner? Motion approved.
Moving on to item B, the approval of 2026-2027 school improvement plans. The plans are for Nathan Hale Primary School, Nathan Hale Middle School, Paul Revere Primary School, Paul Revere Intermediate School, Everett F. Kerr Middle School, Veterans Memorial Middle School, and Whittier School. They were all available for the board to review. May I have a motion to approve the school improvement plans?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Warner?
Yes.
Mr. Zane?
Yes.
Mr. Burmeister? Yes. Mr. Getzner?
Yes.
Ms. Martinez?
Yes.
Ms. Martinez? I'm sorry, Ms. McGinnis?
Yes.
Next item is item C, the Nathan Hale Middle School Gym renovation project. This is for the fiscal year 2027 budget. This discussion, just to open the floor to discussion amongst us, about the proposed Nathan Hale Middle School gym renovation project. The budget and capital improvement planning process.
This is a crying shame that this project was halted. Unbeknownst to majority of the board members, we did promise them that we were going to fix this floor, and if we have the funds, we need to follow through on what we promised almost a year ago, not knowing until recently that this project was halted.
So piggybacking off that, I just wanted, I guess, a question. My concern is that we didn't know it was halted, or some of us didn't, I did not know it was halted, and then we jumped into this like major like door project, and then amongst other projects we have going on, and so I guess my concern is like, do we have the funds? I don't want to get us in debt.
So tonight, this is a discussion item.
Yes.
Lucy is here, Mr. O'Shea is going to speak to the financial impact assisted improvement. I don't want to speak on.
I think it goes hand in hand with facilities assessment. I think, ultimately, the district does have enough, equity at the college in order to start doing bonds, to start doing projects, larger scale projects. I know at this point we do have, some resources and we have, already encumbered them, or promised, to do this project or that project. It's up to the board ultimately, what are the projects that the board wants to see moving forward at this point in time, and then along with the facilities assessment, and then we can, financially, look at everything in the scopes of all the different projects that the board would want to see, moving forward in the next few years to be able to get to, do these projects. So it's, I think that, this is the gym, which is, I do remember that, there was concern about the gym, or it was brought up about a year ago. But it's, I think it's just up to the board as to like, what the board considers, the priority, and then, moving forward with the facility assessment and the use of selling bonds.
When do we get that assessment back?
I think it's anticipated around September-ish.
September.
Okay. So that will help, obviously.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just don't want to see it later. I want to, keep it on the table if we're able to do it. We would have saved a lot of money if we didn't know the project was killed until we found out it was killed. Again, that's still not going to move forward.
Doing the gym floor, that was more, if I recall correctly, almost like a safety concern too, the condition the floor's in. Am I right?
I believe there's Buckley.
Yeah, this actually arose last year, I believe it was in September, October. There was a door on what would be the northwest side, or northeast side, that corner there. The floor is cupped, because it's just an athletic mat that sits on concrete. and our architect determined at that time that the floor is past its useful life, and recommended that it get replaced. And kind of at the same time, if you recall, the door project encompasses doors at Nathan Hale Gym as well. They are going to take the doors out of priority 1, and they would do it at the same time as this, because if the board elects to go with a true hardwood, obviously the heights of the doors change, so they don't want to put brand new doors in and have to take them out. But if the board chooses to go with the less expensive option, which is called TerraFlex, which is similar to what they have across the street at the rec center, it doesn't play like hardwood, it's just a general floor. They wouldn't have to change the elevations of the door project to kind of advance. One thing I just want the board to note on the price you have in front of you, that is everything except the floor. The architect and construction manager did this because they were under the impression that some of this work was going to take place this summer in off hours. So this is just for the work expressed on here. They would do a phase 2, or if the board elected to do one just bid package for next summer, 2027, they would include this work and the cost of whichever flooring option you elected. I think we still have the quote from October. There's an escalation on the bottom of there, so that's like your inflation, and I think it's 6 or 7%. If you added that on, that would get you close to the number for both of those, either the TerraFlex or the hardwood. But if you guys want, I can have them redo this cost estimate, so you have both the floor and the floor.
We work to see that.
With the TerraFlex and the hardwood, in the other buildings we have, is it kind of split what buildings have what, or do we have hardwood floors?
Honestly, in almost every other facility, we have true hardwood in the middle schools anyways. At Kerr, that's true hardwood, Veterans is hardwood, I think PRI is hardwood. Some of the like elementary schools have the 12 by 12 tiles in the gyms because they double as a cafeteria in some instances. I know IESA, because we did join that, they prefer to play on a true hardwood. If the board elects to do that, I will just let you know that it has to be ordered 8 weeks out because it has to get put in the space to acclimate to the climate it's going to be in for humidity. So just keep that in mind if you do choose to go with the hardwood.
So,
I'm sorry, I would lean towards hardwood, teacher and coach, but I would lean towards PE teachers would prefer as well, as their best.
Stubing wants a hardwood.
Yeah.
Double the price or just a little bit more?
I think it's, I don't want to misspeak, I think it's like a $20,000 difference. Like hardwood is obviously more expensive, but it's not significant.
It's 20 grand, you know, the hardwood. They're going to get hardwood out of buildings because of arrangement. And that's only that, but they hardwood.
I feel like if we're continuing to develop our sports team and IESA is saying we prefer hardwood, then to me that sounds like it would be the smart way to go. So I guess, are we in agreement to have Bill, I don't know, give numbers?
Do you want an updated cost estimate for next month with hardwood and TerraFlex so you can see both?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Is everyone in agreement for that?
Yes.
Yeah, I just don't want to see the project die. I want to make sure the project takes off the runway.
But we still have to wait for the assessment cost.
I think that would be
Yes.
Correct.
also a good decision, because I think there are a couple things we need to be, are considering.
Right.
Is the TerraFlex of plastic?
I'm sorry?
Is the TerraFlex of plastic?
It's almost like a mat that gets rolled out. It's not quite a spongy. It's like between a spongy material and like a rubber. It's just if you're playing basketball on it, if you ask somebody that plays basketball, hardwood just plays better. But it's really, it comes down to cost at that point. It is a little less maintenance intensive. If they do a hardwood in there, those bleachers are heavy enough where they have to like bolster underneath the floor, so there'll be like a steel slide where the bleachers sit. And the hardwood does sit on what they call sleepers, so it's elevated, so there's an air gap between the concrete floor and the hardwood. And then it would just have to be stripped and finished every couple of years.
Imagine the hardwood is a longer lifespan.
Yeah, much longer.
That's a good point.
Yeah, if they're trying to grow the sports program, I would say hardwood.
we will move on to, if any other discussion, I don't know if anyone. We'll move on to the informational items, superintendent search updates. So currently working with, meeting with, the board. Let me try again. We're remaining committed to a thoughtful and thorough process and will provide updates as appropriate throughout this search. I am waiting on confirmation for school exec to connect for possibly attending our July meeting to meet with the board in our closed executive session. Next up here is,
Is there anything we should prepare?
I have no idea, but I can ask. My understanding of that was that they just kind of come and like, hey, this is us, here's kind of gauge where we're at. This is just like, I don't want to say informational, but this is not, they will be doing interviews with all of us separately as well. The Lincoln School site improvement safety considerations is just an ongoing discussion, so the next steps for the Lincoln School site improvements. The district's collaborating with the city of Blue Island to evaluate the shared exterior space of the school and develop remedies to address the concerns related to pedestrian safety. Lucy or Mr. Barr, did you want to share anything? Do you have any updates that you can share with us? I don't know.
I can tell you that informal quotes were received from our construction firm, Shamrock, and their pricing is significantly more than the cost that the city was quoted. Approximately $14,000 to $18,000 more total cost. Negotiations with the city have not been specific to the percentage of contribution or cost sharing that they're looking to do. But I do know that the city would enter into an IGA as far as the gates are concerned. Mayor Bellato said his attorney would initiate that process once we get there.
Yeah, I received the same information, Mayor Bellata, and working with the district, making collaboration to, not only just fix the areas of the Lincoln school, but other areas of concern. We did also say that, TIF and or municipal funds would be used to help the collaboration to get this going.
And just so we're clear, this proposal does not include the installation of the sidewalk.
I don't think we're really interested in the sidewalk at the current time, because the sidewalk is going to butt up too close to the building. You have those enormous rain chutes that come out when we did that walkthrough. They either got to go underneath, I don't know if you can, redirect the water that way, because you're going to have one hell of a problem when the weather goes up and down and freezing across that sidewalk. And the pitch is going to be pretty steep also. You're not going to have a flat pitch because of the way the building's graded. So we have to do some real homework on doing that if that is doable. But I don't recommend us doing it.
Anyone else? It's very exciting to hear that the city's willing to collaborate with the district and address the safety concerns with it. Next on the agenda is June enrollment. Does anyone else have any questions on the rest of the items, for informational items.
Madam President,
At this time, I'll provide the president's report. If anybody wants to remember. I just wanted to take a moment to welcome all the new individuals that will be joining District 130. Say congratulations to those who are retiring and best wishes to those who are seeking new adventures, whether it's a different position in our district or whether they are going elsewhere. Well, welcome. That was all for Erica.
we do,
Yeah, thank you.
We have a paraprofessional back there.
All right, at this time, I invite Dr. McKay to provide her superintendent report.
I just have three things. Summer school is off to a strong start. We have students actively engaged in both academic and enrichment opportunities. Staff have been working diligently to provide meaningful learning experiences that support student growth while maintaining a positive and engaging environment. It's nice to see them outside tonight. We are currently in summer hours for district administrators and department support staff. It started on June 8th and will continue through July 31st. Certified administrators will work the 4-day schedule, Monday through Thursday, 7 to 5, with Fridays designated as non-work days. And then department support staff will also observe that 4-day work week with this period. With Fridays off, staff schedules have been adjusted to ensure completion of contracted work hours. And just a reminder, the district is closed this Friday and observes the Juneteenth.
I thought the summer hours were 7:15 to 4 p.m.
7.
Okay, we can,
We do lunch in there and we have to do we can do 17, I'm sure everybody, they're cheering.
7:15 to 4 p.m. was what I recall.
We have to
Approved. Okay.
So we can adjust whatever, and everybody here is cheering inside it.
Okay, well, 7:15 to 4 p.m. was what I had approved, so we will do 7:15 to 4 p.m.
Cheer.
I'm sorry, was that?
Yeah, that's right.
Thank you. At this time, do we have any comments from the BIEA?
Hi, Sherry, Sarah, BIA president. So we have nothing to publicly discuss with the board at this time, but on a personal note, I did want to wish Carrie Tish good luck in her new district. I had the privilege of working under her as a teacher, and when she came to CRP's principal, and those are probably some of my best teaching years. My role as BIEA president brings me in contact with her on a regular basis. I will miss our conversations that we have, our early morning problem-solving conversations while we drive on the way to work. We did not always agree. We sometimes had very tense conversations, but there was always a mutual respect. Except for the time she hung up on me because she didn't like me. But that's a story for another day. But I definitely could not do this role without her, and so I wish her good luck.
Thank you, Ellen. May I have a motion to go into closed session for any of the below listed reasons? The appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of employee employees of specific individuals who serve as independent contractors or specific volunteers of the district, or legal counsel for the district, including hearing testimony on a complaint lodged against an employee, a specific individual who serves as an independent contractor or volunteer of the district, or against legal counsel for the district to determine its validity, collective negotiation matters between the district and its employees or their representatives, or deliberations concerning salary schedules for one or more classes of employees, evidence or testimony presented to the school board regarding denial of admission to school events or property pursuant to section 2424 of the school code, provided that the school board prepares to make available to public inspection a written decision setting forth its determinative reasons. The setting of a piece of price for the sale of lease or property owned by the public body, the sale or purchase of securities, investment or investment contracts, security procedures, school building safety and security, and the use of personnel and equipment to respond to an actual, a threatened, or a reasonably potential danger to the safety of employees, students, staff, the public property, student disciplinary cases, almost done, the placement of individual students in special education programs and other matters relating to individual students, pending litigation, establishing reserves or settle claims, classification and discussion of confidential matters, and discussion of minutes of closed session.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Mr. Bain?
Yes.
Mr. Werner?
Yes.
Mr. Gessner?
Yes.
Mr. McGinnis?
Yes.
Mr. Martinez?
Yes.
Mr. Burmeister? Yes. Approved.
Motion approved.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second. Roll call, please.
Mr. Bain?
Here.
Mr. Burmeister here. Mr. Gessner?
Yes.
Mr. Rule absent. Ms. Martinez?
Yes.
Ms. McGinnis?
Yes.
Mr. Werner?
Here.
You're approved. You're back at 8:40.
Possible action after closed session. Motion to approve the step 4 grievance determination of SEIU number 73.
Make a motion.
To approve.
Yep. Ms. McGinnis?
I'm confused.
Yeah, let's talk
No,
about
we
that.
did not.
Oh, motion to approve.
No.
So I read,
What did you say? She said to approve.
okay, I think I made, maybe I said that.
You said motion to approve the grievance?
So, okay,
I'll start the roll over again.
thank you.
Ms. McGinnis?
No.
Mr. Werner?
No.
Mr. Bain?
No.
Mr. Gessner?
No.
Mr. Burmeister? No. Ms. Martinez?
No.
Motion denied.
Since there is no further business, may I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
So roll call, please.
Ms. Martinez?
Yes.
Ms. McGinnis?
Yes.
Mr. Bain?
Yes.
Mr. Werner?
Yes.
Mr. Burmeister? Yes. Mr. Gessner?
Yes.
All right, approved. It is